Best team in basketball is the underdog. The New York Knicks just put together the most dominant 11-game stretch in the 80-year history of the league, and Vegas still has them as an underdog. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly why, including the one number Spurs fans should be nervous about. But first, you need to see just how absurd this matchup actually is. Let's set the stakes. The Knicks haven't won a title since 1973, 53 years. The most tortured fan base in the sport. They haven't even reached the finals since 1999. And the team that ended them that year, the San Antonio Spurs. New York is so starved that the cheapest seat to Game 3 at Madison Square Garden runs over $4,000. And the hottest ticket in the building is going for $103,000. So the question that's been building for half a century is simple. Is this finally the year? Or does history repeat itself against the exact same team? Here's why New York believes. They're riding an 11-game playoff win streak. They swept the Cavs, swept the Sixers, and won those 11 by an average of almost 24 points. Their point differential over the run is plus 262, the single greatest 11-game stretch any team has played in 80 years of the NBA. They led every playoff team in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and assists, while posting the best defensive rating in the field. And because they closed Cleveland in 4, they walk into Game 1 with 9 days of rest. Here's the catch. The East was thin. New York beat a fringe Atlanta team, a beat-up Philadelphia team, and a Cleveland squad that limped in on 14 playoff games of mileage. The Knicks can only beat who's in front of them, and they obliterated everyone, but they have just not seen anything like what's coming. Because out west, a very different kind of team just survived a war. San Antonio went 62-20, then did the hardest thing in basketball. They knocked out the defending champion Thunder, a 64-win team led by back-to-back MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in a 7-game war. Down 3-2 facing elimination, they won Game 6 at home and Game 7 on the road. Wembanyama opened that series with 41 points and 24 rebounds and finished it with 19 blocks, the most in a conference finals in 2 decades, and took home unanimous Western Conference Finals MVP. The supporting cast is barely old enough to rent a car. 21-year-old Stephon Castle and 23-year-old rookie Dylan Harper, a Jersey kid who grew up dreaming of playing in the Garden. So while New York rested, San Antonio got battle-tested. Now the man at the center of it all. Victor Wembanyama is the first unanimous Defensive Player of the Year in NBA history, and the youngest player ever to make All-NBA First Team and the Finals in the same season. When he's on the floor, the share of opponent shots at the rim falls from 36% to 24%, and their three-point accuracy drops to 31%. That's why San Antonio opened as the favorite, and why he's a 62% favorite to win Finals MVP. But his superpower may matter less against New York than anyone else. Why? Because the Knicks have a 7-footer who shoots. Karl-Anthony Towns is hitting almost 49% from 3 in these playoffs. Stand him at the arc and Wembanyama faces a tough choice. Follow him out and abandon the rim, or sit back and concede open threes. Either way, the paint cracks open, and New York led all playoff teams in shots and points at the rim. So the team built to neutralize the best defender alive might be the Knicks. Which brings us to Jalen Brunson. He's averaging almost 27 a game this postseason and hung 26 a night on these Spurs in the regular season. Scoring was never a problem. The problem is the other end. Brunson isn't a good defender, and San Antonio has a 3-headed monster in Fox, Castle, and Harper who will hunt him every possession. So the real Brunson question isn't can he score, it's can he survive on defense. There are 2 sneaky X factors. Knicks center Mitchell Robinson broke his right pinky a week ago and got surgery, but he's expected to play. Robinson is important because he gives the Knicks second chance opportunities. With him on the floor, their offensive rebound rate is 39%. Without him, it falls off a cliff to 28. The second X factor is Julian Champagnie, who's leading both teams in playoff threes and who just closed out Game 7 against the Thunder. In a series this tight, the title may come down to role players, and history has a warning for San Antonio. The last 2 young superstar teams to crash the finals this early, the 95 Magic and the 07 Cavs, both got swept. So why is the best team in basketball the underdog? New York opened at plus 170, and only 3 teams in NBA history have ever won it all as bigger underdogs. Strip the series down, and it's 2 cases. The favorites case is the safest superstar alive, the first unanimous Defensive Player of the Year ever. The underdog's case is that they're the better team in this exact moment, riding the greatest stretch the league has ever recorded. And here's the number I promised you that should have Spurs fans worried. New York didn't just hang with San Antonio this year. They went 2-1, beat them in the NBA Cup, and posted a 123 offensive rating doing it, the same machine that just ran the East. So either the line is underrating the hottest team in basketball, or Wembanyama is about to prove none of that survives a 7-game series. So you tell me, is the underdog tag an insult or is it correct?